This video is an episode of an extended educational series that I put out for my mastermind members multiple times per week. In this series, I backtest gold on the low timeframes using early 2023 data. If you are a scalper or an intraday trader, this video is going to be incredibly beneficial because we are working on the 5-minute, 1-minute, 2-minute timeframes. So if you're looking to further your skills with low timeframe trading, this video is for you. With that said, I hope you enjoy. Okay, guys, hello. Welcome back to episode 7. We're going to shoot through from the end of last trade. That's about midday on the Tuesday. We're going to do Wednesday's price action today. I'm hoping today or overnight, before we get into the next session, we'll get a break of this low. That would be really good. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck in this range, which is very hard to trade. We actually got lucky to get this open supply met for a sell. There's not really a whole lot else we could look for, except I guess if we traded into this demand, but I'm not massively confident buying there simply because of the possibility of us going lower, which we saw obviously on the 4-hour with this large imbalance below. So my ideal scenario would be to kind of get a sell through the range here, but let's see. So let's shoot this through to the next day. I'm going to leave the wild annotations on because they're going to come in handy in price action like this. So we need to go through to 6. We got a fair ways to go. A few more candles. Okay, now we're at about 6 a.m. and we've actually just taken out the high. So what are we going to look for at this point? Well, we could begin to roll with the idea of us going higher, I believe. We have that major target that we wanted to go for. Where was that? Let's go to the daily. We have this high. We're starting to close bullish over this high now. The target we had in mind was this larger daily imbalance into around 1936 to 1937. Obviously, there's a few points we could tackle along the way as well. This would probably be the key focus one for me. So what we're going to do is have a look today at possible pullbacks for buys. If we maintain with massive momentum, once again, I will wait for pullbacks for buys. And the pullback points for buys, they're going to be like this point here, right? So let's go down to the 10. What further refined areas do we have? We've got this point. Oh, and I thought we would have filled that demand overnight, but we still have that point as well that we could potentially target. There is that open demand to consider. So let's see what happens today. A sell is on the cards towards the buys. The buys will be the big movement for me, I think. Cool. So let's just monitor the price here. So for a sell to be on the cards, this is going to be a very aggressive break. Well, an aggressive move to sell into, right? Ideal would be a break of the high again to kind of finalize structural shift. Here we've got high substructure. You traded into a demand. I'm not confident selling it yet. It might sell, but I don't like the price. I want to see the highs go before any selling, really. Okay, we might actually get the highs taken out. That would be really, really cool. So I would like to see the high go, then the low go. That could actually bring us something fruitful then. Well, let's not speak too soon. Very range bound in this London session. I was saying that we are only at 8 a.m. Right. This is good. So we've had the liquidation of the high. I always want to see kind of highs liquidated, really, for this kind of setup. At this point, if we were to pull down and take this low here on the 2-minute, once again, similar to the previous trade, we're opening the efficient range, in which case we don't have much reason for reversal. And if we're expecting this to pull back before a buy comes valid, a closure below here could be good for selling. Okay, we're actually pushing into a new high. An interesting development there. We could actually start to shift the selling point to here because we had this demand retest. So now anything below this point is the efficient range. Now, I've got to say, guys, obviously this is not due or guaranteed to reverse. It's just that the opportunities we have right now will be more so focused sell side due to the imbalances. My system, I don't really like trading against huge imbalances like this. And I would believe we are due for, some pull into this range, at least with the large amount of imbalances we have left open. So we're just moving with the best guess, essentially. Moving with what's there, reacting to what happens, which in the markets generally is all you can do and is where the great setups are going to be found. So we're now dropping in momentum pretty dramatically. This is again an efficient range. So let's look at the 1 minute. We could consider, this is going to be the true break though. So let's stick with that. Okay, that's good. Closure under that level into the efficient range. Let's just check the 1 minute. That is a retest. So on this time frame now, what we could do is start looking for a selling entry. We could look at this kind of larger range. As I've mentioned previous, I like working with the kind of larger ranges from down on these low time frames because we can get pretty, we can miss a lot of entries by going too refined, which is fine. If you want to go refined, we could go for this sell, but I'm just going to give it an extra few pips on the spread because I think targets wise, we should be okay for more downside. Why am I happy to take this trade? Because we've actually broken into an efficient range. There's nothing really supporting price now. Let's check the 10 minute. How far could we go with this? Well, that would be a good target. That would be a pretty safe bet in my opinion. Imbalance, efficient range, imbalance. This one might be pushing it a bit. Maybe that will get filled, but we've got, a lot of kind of higher lows forming here. So I think just targeting this leg of movement would be the safer bet to take. And that actually is a 6% trade if it works, which obviously maybe it won't, but I think I'd be happy to kind of take that. So do I want my stop over the high? Well, to determine that, we're going to go to the 1 minute. I believe at this point, we could scale it in. Well, we have 4.50 there. That would be the safer bet. So yeah, let's go with that. Let's sell limit and then let it move. Okay, that's good to see. We had a fully additional closure basically below this low. So we have now kind of officially here shifted to a downtrend. So we got higher high. Then we had the lower low, lower high, lower low. So ideally, without breaching, we would continue moving lower. Simple stuff, guys. I know on the low time frames here it can look messy because we have a lot of noise on the 2 minute and so on. But the setups we're taking, they are simple, Yeah, that's actually why I went for the higher stop. Now, obviously, this is still not guaranteed to win, but I considered, look, we could liquidate similar to the fashion of the previous trade we took. When I was looking at the 10 minute with just the wicks, it seemed okay in the 5 minute. But when you go to the 2 and 1, you realize, this is actually an area we could come into. So still not guaranteed to win yet, but let's just see how it goes. This is looking good if we can get a close under this low. Okay, now we've got a truly confirmed downtrend and really nothing to support price within here. Oh, that's good. Okay. Can we roll stops at this point? I would say yes. Yes, it can come back. Yes, we could get stopped out at break even. But do we want to risk this turning into a loss? No, not really. If we do get this high again, I'm not massively interested in holding the position. With the momentum here, if there's enough momentum to bring us all the way back up, do I want to be selling against that? No, not really. Okay, so I'm going to go for this target. Nice, simple target. I think with this new break into the range, even if we pull back to retest some previous supplies, it is likely that we are going to fill this range. The risk reward is just simply not good enough to take it here as well. And I think we've got viable reasoning to expect the market to fill this imbalance. So let's just see how that goes. Any reasonable areas for reversal? No, not particularly. I'll hold it for now. Getting rangy. What we don't want to do is hold this out of session and into the night. So let's just see. Still got a good few hours left of New York, to be honest. We are failing to build strength by the looks of it, which would be brilliant for our position. Oh, there we go. Targets hit on that one. So awesome stuff. 4.6R. Cool. That's going to be the end of the day. We are 3 p.m. now. I'm not taking any more trades. Yes, that's a nice one. Yeah, so actually, I really hope that you guys are finding some value in this. Kind of just off the cuff testing. And I know this stuff is very refined. You know, we're on very, very low time frames here. And what I'm kind of trying to do here is sometimes when I trade off of, well, not trading off of intuition, as in guessing at setups, but sometimes when I'm trading, I have a lot of market experience, right? I've been trading for 7 years, every single day, pretty much never taken a day off until recently when I kind of stepped back for a month or so. But even then, I was doing some testing. You get a lot of intuition with years in the market. And I know that being systematic with the setups, we are still here, you know, in the way that we approach them with the structural breaks, the structural shifts. But with the low time frames, we got momentum to consider, momentum entries and things like that. So the kind of idea with this series is to open questions and then answer them. Okay. So like, you know, I'm sure some of you would have questions about an entry. For example, this break of structure here, is this a viable break? Well, yes, because we broke into an efficient range and we closed. So there's no real reason we should go and retake this high, you know, things like that. And the previous one, how do we handle a zone that doesn't have a clear supply for us to sell from, but every other aspect, such as the higher time frame supply, the trend, the liquidity sweep, and then the break of structure on the 10-minute was all in our favor. And we're talking back to the previous lesson, by the way, now. How do we handle an entry when there's no 1 minute supply to get in? And hopefully with what I showed you in the previous episode, I've somewhat answered that question for you now. So I just kind of trying to open the loop, then close the loop for you. And also I'm just doing some testing for myself because it's super valuable to get this kind of refined low time frame trading, which is what I really, really enjoy the most and what I really want to hit in 2024 as well. So hopefully you're enjoying the series. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. And yeah, that was a really good one. 4.6R. We're actually at 12.5% now. And we're what? We've done Tuesday to Wednesday. So we've done Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 days. Honestly, that made me sound like an idiot doing the math there. But you know, that's fine. So that's it for this one, guys. Hope you've enjoyed that. I'll close it and we'll carry on from this exact point in the next video. And yeah, see how we go from there. I teach my methods of trading in full depth inside of my mastermind and drop these videos 2 to 3 times per week. So if you found this beneficial, you want to learn a system, continue getting these videos and trade alongside me every day with daily analysis videos and updates anytime I'm looking to take a trade, then join us inside of the mastermind. There's a link in the description for that. So let's make sure you start 2024 the right way.